Hello, everyone, and welcome to another fabulous e-chapter meeting. I am so glad to be here with all of you today. Let me let you log in. Let me let you do your shout-outs. I know how you ladies always like to say where you're from, and today I'm excited, but I'm always excited. You know that. I know I sound like a broken record, but once again, our e-chapter just keeps growing and growing. We're actually starting out 2017 with more than 23,000 e-chapter members. It is by far our most successful and member-appreciated networking benefit, and I think that's pretty amazing. I'm absolutely thrilled to witness the explosive growth of this exciting initiative, and I thank each and every one of you for making our bi-weekly virtual meetings engaging, heartfelt, and inspiring. The NAPW e-chapter is networking at its best, and for busy professional women on the go, it really does provide access to your network from wherever you are. In fact, as you know, last year I hosted e-chapter from multiple places while meeting all kinds of people in some amazing places. In 2016, I joined the e-chapter from the back of a car, from airport lounges, and from our New York City, Long Island, and Chicago offices. I even networked during spring break from Disney World with my Minnie Mouse ears and all, from a boat in the middle of the Caribbean and the Mediterranean Sea. I even joined an e-chapter meeting from my sick bed with no makeup on and a runny nose. That's not today, girl. In 2016, nothing stopped me from keeping my network strong. And I'm starting out 2017 in the same way. Today, I'm actually honored to join you from my American Heart Association satellite office in New York City. As most of you know, I am the American Heart Association's national volunteer, and February is American Heart Month. So I'm here in New York City to continue my work advocating for women's heart health. My location and purpose in New York is a perfect fit for today. Our e-chapter topic fits right in. Our topic today is confidence. I can't emphasize enough to you that no matter how much confidence, success, or prosperity you have, really nothing is more important than good health. Heart disease is still the #1 killer of all women. Let me say that again. Heart disease is still the #1 killer of all women. 1 out of 3 women will die from a heart attack or stroke. And these statistics hit really close to home for me because I am a heart disease survivor. Never thought that I would say that. In 2010, I had open heart surgery. And listen, when your heart is stopped and they take it out of your body for 22 minutes, you come out of it grateful and with a new lease on life. As an advocate for the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women campaign, I am dedicated to taking care of my body, valuing my heart health, and eager to encourage others to do the same. So what are you waiting for? That's not a perfect moment to take control of your health. The same goes for our careers. We don't need perfection to be confident in our success. We just need initiative. The desire for perfection can cause us to pause or halt our current goals or projects. It can create a hostile environment and really damage professional relationships. More importantly, it can drain our confidence. Simply put, the desire for perfection creates a cloud of unreachable, untangible, and unrealistic goals. There's no perfect body, no perfect workout, no perfect business plan. However, there is such thing as a attitude and a perfect work ethic. Our confidence should be rooted not in the desire for perfection, but in our proven abilities. Do we underpromise and overdeliver? Are we branding ourselves as leaders in our field? Confident women draw others to them, and it doesn't stop there. Let me share with you my 5 markers of confidence. I think a couple might surprise you. Number 1, speak it, so shall it be. Confident women do not use prolonged, no-action words like someday, hopefully, or I wish. A confident woman's everyday language is full of I will, I can, I did. And even if current circumstances do not align with your vision, your thoughts, your words, or your overall attitude, you have to make sure it's an overall attitude of positivity and affirmations. Remember, the old adage, watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your deeds. Watch your deeds, they become your habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. And your character is everything. Number 2, perfectly imperfect. Being confident means knowing your flaws and understanding that a stumble or a setback is a teaching moment. I've had them in health, I've had them in relationships, I've had it in career, and still I rise. There is no need for a scarlet letter to hang your head low. Zoning in on your imperfections can lead to a strong relationship building and coaching where your partner or you partner with those who lead and or are successful in achieving what you're striving to do or striving to be. Number 3, no cutting corners. Let me be real clear, ladies. Not seeking perfection is not the same thing as cutting corners. Seeking perfection can be a negative thing when it continuously prolongs progress, creates doubts, or hijacks our original intent and objective. No cutting corners or not cutting corners means doing your job to the best of your ability and not taking any shortcuts. A confident woman knows that she has to have her own personal brand, and she protects it always putting her best foot forward. Number 4, never compare. Now, dirty little secret. Editorial spreads and advertisements can cause us to compare our bodies to other women. I used to be 300 pounds, and I got to tell you, it used to irritate the bejeebies out of me to have to see all of those ladies in those magazines. That was until my friend Cindy Crawford once said, Star, I don't wake up Cindy Crawford every day. They make me into Cindy Crawford on those magazine covers. It made me laugh, but it also taught me a good lesson. Social media can also cause us to compare likes and followers. Society often urges us to compare wealth and achievement. But a confident woman is not tempted by any of these. Confident women know that they are their biggest competition. They're their biggest enemy and their biggest judge. They wear blinders and only focus on their goals. They're too busy striving for and basking in their success to compare apples and oranges with somebody else's. Finally, results, not praise-driven. Yes, now there's such thing as being obnoxiously confident, and none of us want to be that chick. There's no need to announce your accolades or your achievements all the time. If we are known for our results and our talents and our reputation, that will always precede you. Seeking approval, applause, or shiny blue ribbon is what women who lack confidence do. A confident woman displays her confidence by the pride and security she has in her work. Simply knowing that she is the absolute best person for the job displays more confidence than any pat on the back ever. That, ladies, is how I measure confidence. Today's e-chapter meeting will provide you with more tools so that you can embrace what makes you extraordinary. Kick all of your perfectionist ailments to the curb and walk in confidence. We've put together a terrific panel of a psychologist, a self-help coach, and a successful business professional who are all experts in their field. They're going to share about their own experiences and challenges and offer personal tips and advice. Before we get to the panel discussion, we'll hear from 3 fabulous VIP members in our VIP member spotlight. These women boast successful careers in a variety of industries. They each have a unique story to tell, and I can't wait for you to hear them. Finally, please be sure to participate in the polls that will appear throughout the meeting. This interactive aspect of the e-chapter meeting gives us some great insight into our attendees and your thoughts on some very important topics. They also set the agenda for future e-chapter meetings. And now, without further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce the NAPW National Director of Chapters, Louise Newsom, who is also the president of our New York City chapter. She and her team spearhead our e-chapter. She will facilitate today's meeting, and you'll notice that in solidarity, Louise is wearing her red It is more than I could ask for. Go Red. Louise?
Star, you will see that all the speakers today have come together in recognition of Heart Health Month for the American Heart Association and also are wearing red.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. I always know that I can depend on my network to do it. Thank you all. Have a wonderful meeting.
Thank you, Star, and welcome everyone to our live eChapter event. Our live eChapters are held once a month and our reruns held bi-weekly, either at noon or 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So you can come back, listen again, and live network with new attendees from around the country. eChapter has taken the stage, not only fostering real-time networking, but has also developed into offline, in-person coffee meetings, not to mention all the business contacts created through the connections made during the events. Also, with our newest online event, eCoaching, we're excited to be offering you even more networking opportunities in 2017. Please look out for the invites and promotions via email, on social media, and on our website, napw.com. We encourage you to carve out the time and keep coming back to our eChapter events because of its ease and ability to network from your office while on the road and even from the comfort of your own home. You will see at the bottom left of your screen a box that explains how to create a private chat room with any attendee you wish to speak with off the group chat during the event, as it can be difficult to keep up with one or several people you've connected with, especially when the chat room moves so quickly. We also have in attendance today some additional corporate moderators to assist you or just chat with you along the way. They are Samantha Pocorni, local chapter manager, who will do her best to offer technical support if needed. Dana Angel, graphic designer and digital media manager, will be live posting throughout the event on the NAPW's Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, encouraging you in the chat room to share our posts on your social media. And Katie Maloney, Director of Membership Acquisition, who is available to assist you with any membership questions you have today. You will also see several times during the event a poll pop up on your screen. Please take a minute to answer the questions as we'll share the results during the panel discussion. The agenda for our event today is that we'll be showcasing 3 VIP member business spotlights of 3 minutes each to share their expertise before we invite our panelists on to discuss our topic for today, the confidence conundrum, the power of positive thinking. So for our first business spotlight, I'd like to introduce Debbie Luxton, who is a professionally trained life coach, John Maxwell Team Leadership Coach, author, and Women's Retreat Leader. Debbie serves as the Community Outreach Director for the NAPW St. Louis chapter and is the owner of One Life to Thrive and Debbie Luxton Coaching. With over 30 years' experience building and leading corporate and volunteer teams, Debbie and her husband have led their local Celebrate Recovery ministry for 11 years. Debbie is also releasing her first book, Choose to Thrive, Conquering Your Inner Conflicts, on February 27th. Debbie's passion is to help women who lead live out of the God-given impact they were created and designed for. Good afternoon, Debbie. Great to have you here. I see that you are on camera and ready to go. I welcome you. I'm going to go off camera and you can take it away from here.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Louise, and I thank NAPW for having me on the Spotlight interview. Hello, ladies. As women, we have a unique ability to make things happen. We get things done. This is a good thing, but it can also be the very thing that keeps us from living a thriving life. I help women put down appearances, eliminate struggles like perfectionism, implement boundaries, and step into their area of impact. I help women do these things through coaching, retreats, and I've written about it in the upcoming book Louise mentioned, Choose to Thrive, Conquering Your Inner Conflicts, available February 27th on Amazon. Now, I have to tell you, writing this book has been harder than birthing my 4 children. I'm just saying. Ladies, there is a movement of women called to lead. Women who are stepping into the impact God created and designed them for. Join the movement on the retreat May 4th through 7th. The title of this retreat is One Thing Leads to Another. The first thing is to set a firm foundation that leads to fulfilling your area of impact. We will meet in a royal location, a castle nestled in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains in Colorado Springs. At this retreat, you will truly unplug. The serenity of the location is beyond amazing. We will focus on 3 areas: connecting with yourself, God, and others, transforming those inner struggles, and the impact God created and designed you for. You have a unique calling on your life. Stop asking yourself, what is it, and how can I, when you see the reality of your busy world. I've been hosting retreats since 2010 in the Ozark Mountains of Missouri. Since this is my first retreat in this new location, I am calling it an inaugural retreat, where you can become a founding member and gain benefits that will never be offered again. My retreats are not conference style. You will have time to focus and to get real. I am huge on accountability and supporting one another during and beyond the retreats. In fact, One Life to Thrive is all about community. Visit onelifetothrive.org for all the details, or contact me for a 10% discount on 2 or more and an incredible 15% discount for individual registrants. Now, I can't afford to leave this discount up for long, and I'm not offering this deep discount anywhere else. You must contact me by midnight, February 15th, a week from today. We can set up a time to chat so all your questions get answered. We can talk one-on-one, or I'm happy to talk with your entire leadership team or your group. Space is limited, so email me at debbie@debbieluxton.com, subject NAPW retreat. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Debbie. I invite you to go over to the chat room and to continue the conversation there with the ladies. So for our next spotlight today, I'd like to introduce Gigi Jennifer Moser, who is a women's empowerment coach and strategic mindset mentor who loves to travel and fully embraces her laptop lifestyle of freedom. She helps of heart-centered, spiritually minded women entrepreneurs to become unstoppable in all areas of their lives. Through workshops, speaking, retreats, and her life-expanding coaching programs, she helps you to know time, money, and choice freedom using the tools of access, consciousness, and hypnotherapy. Gigi used the same tools and mindset strategies to eliminate her own Crohn's disease, financial disaster, bipolar disorder, and PTSD, and effectively care for aging and ill parents without distress and sacrifice. She is the queen of awareness and guides her clients to the great aware yes to choose their extraordinary life now. Through some life and death wake-up calls, Gigi found a way to undo the hypnosis of childhood that had led her to illness, depression, failed relationships, and living paycheck to paycheck, and into a life of joy, freedom, ease, and wealth. Good afternoon, Gigi, and welcome.
Hello, Louise. Hello, Goddesspreneurs. Happy February Love Month to all of you. Aloha. Mwah. Thank you so much for having me. NAPW has been such a great gift to my life, so I want to share some of the gift that it's expanded for me. So I was thinking really hard, what would I share about how I best help people stand in the fire for choosing for them? And I wanted to share one of the ways that I came to really step into my own power was by knowing the power of my words. So I had several wake-up calls as a kid. I grew up knowing I was meant for something bigger, but school didn't teach me that. School taught me to fit in. My parents really wanted me to be happy with my the life that I was given and feel blessed, which I do. But there was this calling so deep inside of me and so much suffering that I was already praying to leave this planet many times. And I did have a few life and death experiences. Each time when I woke from them, I was awake to my consciousness for a short while and would make a few changes and then kind of fall back into the sleep of life, of trying to live the life of foxes, of achieving, of having all the things that life tells us we're supposed to have, but not necessarily the big dreams that are in our soul and calling in our heart. So after a series of fabulous careers as in the medical field, in finance, in insurance, in hotel, in hospitality, I was finding myself again deep in a suffering and a pain and asking every day to God, to the universe, I need a break, I need a break, please give me a break. I just need a break here to find where I need to be so that I can live my life purpose. And lo and behold, because the universe does answer, my dog, in a freak accident, literally ran into my leg and snapped my leg in half. And in that moment, I heard, aha. I heard, your words have power. We are listening. Be careful what you ask for. Maybe ask for a vacation or a new job. So from that moment on, I switched gears with a cap on and became a hypnotherapist and started working with Access Consciousness to help myself and women turn around their lives, change their words, thoughts, and feelings to be all that they can be and be unstoppable. So if you're ready to have your big purpose, your big dream, your big life, are you ready to expand your awareness into the knowledge of knowing when it's an aware yes, a yes for you, then I am offering all of you two fabulous items. One, a free session with me to get clear, to clear some blocks in your life. And you can go to ggmoser.com and sign up for your free session there. And then in the chat box, I'm going to type up, I created a fabulous up-level your optimistic mindset, because we can all take our thresholds up, break the glass ceilings, and go to the next level. So I'll put a link in here for your free optimistic mindset audio loop. So love to you all. Mwah. Thank you.
Thank you, Gigi. Well, again, you go over to that chat room and continue the conversation there with the ladies. I'm sure they'll love to hear more from you. So last but not least, for our spotlights today, I'd like to welcome Dr. Christine Fuselier, who is a wife, mother, educator, business leader, and public speaker. She has had a successful 27-year career in corporate America, where she has proven to be a great leader. While also the director of Bryant Stratton College, she also volunteers her time at Caritas and Career Perspectives, conducting workshops ranging from resume building to social media. Dr. Fuselier has an extensive educational background that includes 5 academic degrees and a doctorate in organizational leadership, and serves on the board of directors for the Read to Them, an organization dedicated to create a culture of literacy in every home. Dr. Fuselier has also received many awards, including the Chicago Defenders 2011 Women of Excellence recipients for leadership and services, and the CEO Award, highest honor at HSBC for excellence in leadership, to name a few. Welcome, Dr. Fuselier. Come on camera. There you are. You're right there. I'm going to go off camera, and you go right ahead. You need to unmute your phone.
Okay.
There you go.
Hi. Thank you all for having me, and I'm really excited to be part of NAPW. As I was asked to do the spotlight, I was thinking, well, what could I share? So I'll give you a piece of my story, and I kind of explain where I'm at in this space in my life. As stated, I was in corporate America for about 27 years. And then one day I found myself displaced. I found myself unemployed. The company downsized, and I was devastated. I didn't know how I was going to get through that because it never happened to me before. So I took some time, and I had to figure out how to process all the emotions that I was feeling, from rage to hurt to disappointment, and I started to write. And I wrote, and I wrote, and I wrote. And I came up with a book called The Business of You. And the book was designed out of thinking about all of the things that we do for organizations. We, as an organization, request that we get up at 7 to be at a meeting, we're there. If it asks us to work till 8 p.m., we work. If it asks us to take additional classes, we take them. If it asks us to do workshops, we do that. And then I started saying, what do we do for the business of ourselves? And thus the business of you. And I designed the book in such a way where it takes you through foundations, such as our mind, our body, our spirit, and our soul. And how do we create positive press for ourselves? And how does positive psychology play in some of the decisions that we make? So I lay a foundation based on experiences, people that I've interacted with throughout my career, and then it moves into a space where, just like organizations, there's different departments. We have a branding department. So how do we brand ourselves? Just like organizations, they are protective of their brand and very strategic in how they build their brand. Do we do that for ourselves? The same thing for partnerships. Most businesses are partnering with other businesses that are aligned with their vision and their mission. For us, those partnerships are our relationships. So do we align with people who have the same vision and mission as we do? And as an organization, when people are not behaving a certain way, there are corrective actions. Do we hold people accountable for how they act in our lives? And then we talk about, in the book, it also talks about finances and strategies. These are all components of an organization, but we're thinking at it from the business of ourselves. And after you go through all of the different departments, is what I've labeled them as, then I have activities that you can work through. One of my favorite activities in the book is called stacking your own deck. We always hear how the deck is stacked against us, but how do we stack our own deck? How do we position ourselves to walk into the destiny that is set forth for us? I do believe that we have this extraordinary gift called life, and we're expected to do extraordinary things. So we take a step back, and the purpose of the book is to have a self-evaluation, deep dive into ourselves, and figure out where do we belong and what is our destiny, and how do we show up the best person that we can be. And that it took a hard look. It took a hard look at ourselves. For me, it took a hard look at myself, but it was very therapeutic as well. So I was really excited, and the book really helped me work through that process, and it also helped me identify what I felt my true destiny was, which is leadership development. So the book is available on Amazon as well as Barnes & Nobles on their website. So I encourage you guys to take a look at it, and I think you will be blessed by reading it and doing the activities and really walking into your destiny. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine, and thank you to all of our NAPW professional spotlights for taking the time today to be on our e-chapter. So now it's time to continue our program and introduce the panel that will be discussing our topic today, the Confidence Conundrum, the power of positive thinking. So for our first panelist, I welcome Jane Donnelly, who is the owner and founder of Altus Effect, a business and life coach business focusing on self-awareness, leadership, and management development. Jane's journey began in the high-tech industry, where she quickly learned that it was people she wanted to connect with rather than machines. Her journey took her into training and then moved into coaching. Her goal has been to help others embrace leadership in ways they never thought possible, and happily she gets to do that every day. Along with business and life coaching certifications, Jane is also a certified trainer and technical writer and has an educational background in psychology and counseling. She has counseled at-risk teens and facilitates weekend intensives for women. Her passions include Indian cooking, independent film, improvisational theater, and occasionally performs with her own improv troupe and lives in Ashland, Oregon with her family. Good afternoon, Jane. Wonderful to have you here today. I'm going to move on to introduce our next panelist. I'd like to welcome Catherine Ferentinos, an experienced international banking professional with 30-plus years of senior management positions amongst leading global groups, including Barclays Bank, National Westminster Bank, and Piraeus Banking Group in London, New York, and Greece. Catherine is a New York University graduate with a double major in marketing, international business, but also holds an advanced diploma in personal and executive coaching that has accreditation from the International Coach Federation and the European Mentoring and Coaching Council. As a divorced mother of two who has been very successful in the world of investment banking, an area that is sometimes very demanding of women, Catherine has been able to apply her coaching concepts and loves to help others meet their goals. Greetings, Catherine. Also great to have you here today. And last but not least, I want to introduce our final panelist for today, Natalie Fikes, who is a mother, mentor, speaker, and coach. She has two young boys, Elijah 10 and Jaden 6. And in 2013, she founded Code Next Generation, a community organization that successfully transitions high school students into adulthood and has achieved a 100% graduation rate of her mentees. Named one of John Maxwell's top 100 leaders in 2015, Natalie is now a certified John Maxwell coach, speaker, and trainer, and travels the country teaching decision makers how to make decisions that make a difference. Natalie has been a member of NAPW since 2012, is the residing NAPW Atlanta chapter president, and the new NAPW local chapter central regional manager. Good afternoon, Natalie. Ladies, it's a pleasure to have you here today as our panelists. So, today's panel topic is the confidence conundrum, the power of positive thinking. The female self-confidence paradox has been addressed many times given the recent rise of women's status in the workplace. Research based on social psychology shows women undervalue and underrate themselves more frequently than men. Men and boys, on the other hand, often think that they are better than they actually are. Sometimes I feel like a fraud, a thought that has crossed the minds of the most powerful and seemingly confident women in the world. So let's start, ladies, by discussing where we think this confidence issue has stemmed from. So Jane, I'm going to start with you. Oh, we don't have everybody on. Where are they? Natalie, oh, here we go. Here's Catherine. Jane, can you join us?
Yeah.
So, okay, well, I'm going to start with Natalie. Natalie, you go ahead.
Well, our issue is that we will not respond to the nudge, that thing inside of us that says, speak up. You have something to say. You know, we call it intimidation. We call it a lack of confidence. And we just ignore the nudge. You know, my favorite story is the one of Cinderella, right? And she teaches us 3 very valuable lessons about promotion, right? She said she teaches us to speak up, to show up, and go up, right? So, you know the part where the prince, he invites all of the eligible, you know, maidens to come to the ball. And, you know, the stepsisters, they had everything to say. You know, we're in those situations. Oh, you're not qualified enough. You're not cute enough. You know, you just got to qualify for everything, right? But in that moment, after Cinderella had went through all types of hell, there was something that was nudging her that said, wait a minute, girlfriend, you qualify. You need to speak up. This is not the time for you to be silent, right? And good thing she did. You have to speak up. There are times when you just sit there and you know you have something to say. Speak up. Respond to that nudge. And when you do that, you will position yourself to deposit into your bank account of confidence. You just have to respond to the nudge and speak up.
So Natalie, you're a hard act to follow. It's a lot of energy there. So anyway, Jane, let's try again. I'm glad you're on camera and with us. Make sure you're unmuted. Wonderful. I can hear you. So tell us what you think.
Well, I think that we, somewhere along the line, we learned to put so much emphasis on things that are outside of who we are. We're looking for some external means to tell us whether we've got it right or we're okay, and what should we be looking towards, and what do I need, and what do I have to do, and spending less time really focusing on what really is going on inside. Where am I connecting with what feels in perfect alignment with who I am, what feels right for me? I mean, you know, certainly we have to, you know, move about the world and be with other people, but in terms of gaining our own confidence and doing what's right for us, we really need to turn that light inside and figure out, you know, when is it do I feel absolutely like the whole universe is lined up for me? And I think that there's so much out, you know, with, you know, media and people and maybe what we've learned and how we've grown up, that we're guided to not be paying so much attention to that and looking at the way things should be and the way I should be going and what I should be learning and what I should know, instead of really connecting with that internal thing that feels really, really right. So connecting with that and knowing when you're feeling it, I think is at the core of where we can begin to really tap and use that confidence.
Yes, you're absolutely right, Jen. There's so many external distractions that really kind of take us off our game. You see that as a poll up. What do you think fuels the confidence gap? We asked our attendees. And it's interesting that 50% of our attendees said that we hold on to what's gone wrong in the past, more than the need for perfection, which is the kind of big conversation that happens around this. Catherine, what's your thoughts on this?
Okay, well, first of all, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I think it's great that I'm a new member of, excuse me, an APW, and I'm very excited about offering my my thoughts based on the experience I've had as well as the coaching. I think although it seems common sense, based on our experiences of the past and what we've encountered, events in our adolescent years, we basically have sometimes this negative voice inside telling us we can't accomplish this. So that is evident in the way that we speak, our tone of voice, the way we even dress, and it projects in our low self-esteem, and it just basically tells others, look, you are allowed not to treat me without respect, the respect that we believe we rightly and absolutely deserve. So based on what I have seen and what I've experienced with myself, again, I have to say, I have basically three things that I would like to mention here, which are very, very important. And we all have lives. And I think, first of all, and very important, is creating a timeline of events that were challenging in our lives in the past and writing down what was really, really difficult for us, but also doing multitask simultaneously. But in each case, we came out a winner, and we really accomplished successfully what we set out to accomplish. And writing these things down and remembering things is very important. Second of all, I think it's important to distinguish that we are all, and acknowledge, we are all individuals with special individual traits, and accepting ourselves for who we are. And the first part of the timeline, and this second thing that I mentioned, really, it just is a start of building this foundation of positive thinking and breaking down this wall of negativeness, which basically it just blocks us being creative and productive in the workforce and in our everyday life. And the third, which I think is very important and has shown good results for me in the past, is really stop feeling fearful towards others' opinions and accepting our own decision making. Because really, when we rely on others to actually guide us and to tell us and place importance on their opinion, we're really putting our lives and our future in their hands. And really, no one knows us better than us, believe me. And two special thoughts that I'd like to leave you with, which are very important for me, is basically just do not focus on our weaknesses, but expand and increase your strengths. This is something which is continuously for me every day, because every day we face challenges. And last and very important is we shape our lives. We are really the authors of our lives. So that is my thoughts for today, and thank you very much again.
Well, Catherine, don't leave us. You're here for the long haul. You're not done.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You covered a lot. You went over actually to our next question. I don't know if you'll have any more to add here. So my next question was, so what can we do about it? What minor tweaks, but meaningful tweaks in how we act, can we implement to decrease the stress and increase the confidence? So, I mean, I don't know, Catherine, if you have anything else to add here based on what you just said.
I would have to really re-emphasize the timeline, although it seems so, I mean, what are you talking about? It does work. It does work. And it's important to actually, when you write down what you've done and what you've accomplished, I cannot overemphasize this. We really start thinking about ourselves different, and we project ourselves different, and it shows. It shows in the way that we actually project towards others. I cannot overemphasize that.
And I suppose it takes us out of the moment, right? And it starts to look, we look at our lives,
Yes.
a broad picture and all the achievements we've had. It's a great,
Yes.
great tool. Anyway, Natalie, what can you add here? What kind of tweaks can we make to increase our confidence?
You know, you just have to show up, okay? We all have issues. We all have issues, period, point blank. Doesn't matter what you have on, you know, whether you show it or you don't show it. Everyone has issues. So just show up. Let's go back to my girl Cinderella. Now, we talked about holding on to the past, right? Well, she lost her mother. She lost her father, right? She's a slave in her own home. And right when she does everything she's told to do to be able to go to the ball, and she's standing at the door. She's finally going to get something that she's worked for, and they strip her clothes. She's standing there. She's right there. She feels defeated, right? Hopeless. She's losing her song. But guess what? 45 minutes later, she's at the ball as if nothing happened. We all go through stuff. We all have things that we're dealing with, but it does not give us the right to not show up, especially when we've given our word to show up. You definitely show up. And it's important to show up. It's where you're saying you need to be is going to lead to the next step in your life. You have to show up. You have to speak up, and you have to show up. Just a minor tweak. Just say you need relationships to grow your business. Are you going out and networking? Or what excuses are in place? You have to show up. You show up in responding to emails. You have to show up in your life. And as you do, you will deposit into your confidence bank and get some wins under your belt, and nobody's going to be able to tell you anything. Speak up and show up.
Thanks, Natalie. Jane, anything to add there?
Yeah, I love what I've heard so far. That's great. I'm going to come at this from a little different side, which is in terms of some like quick kind of minor tweaks. I think number one, something that's been absolutely fabulous for me is the whole concept of slowing down. Just slow down, take a breath, have some time quietly for yourself, and be really, really present and do a reality check. And I think that we're kind of hardwired to notice the negativity that helped us stay alive because, you know, we wanted to know was there a saber-tooth tiger coming to get us, or was there danger around? We had to think there might be a problem. And so we have to make a conscious effort to do a reality check about what is right, what's working for me, what do I do well. And, you know, if you need to enlist a partner to help you with that reality check. I also want to talk about balance. And, you know, the balance, work-life balance, I think it's kind of an overused term at this point. And I think that there's something behind that, which is you want to have work-life balance, but really focusing on what is really, really, truly important to you. What's really the important values that you have. And getting more connected with that is going to help you create balance and confidence because, again, it's about this alignment, knowing what's true for you, what feels right for you, and knowing how you can make a decision to do one thing or another, which direction to move, and to know if you are actually doing a good job. I think it's really, really important. So, again, slowing down and doing a reality check and getting really connected to the alignment of what's really true and right for you.
Jane, I'm going to stay with you. I want to go on to the next question and just say, so, we've made those tweaks with our actions. So how do we continue to work out our confidence muscle so we can find the courage to take the time and intentionality to confidently live imperfectly?
Okay, I think a really good way to do this, and I'm seeing some fluttering around. Is my camera still on?
Don't worry, we can hear you loud
I'll
and
just
clear.
speak. Yeah, okay. So I think that kind of the pursuit of authenticity, and what I mean about that is to really take some step-by-step, take a step-by-step approach where, you start off thinking, what really is the data? What's the data around me? What do I know to be true? What am I making assumptions about? How am I seeking information outside of myself? And so to really work on, what's true for you and being really authentic. And sometimes this can be really, really hard. We can think about, what we think might be true for us. And if upon exploration can really be, well, that was true for my mom or my dad or my teachers. And it's not necessarily what's really, really true for me. So doing some real internal searching around what is authentic for me, I think would be kind of the next step into pursuing this. And I think as soon as you get connected, really, as soon as you get connected to what's true and what feels right in alignment, the more that you rely on your own confidence, and you don't need the support from outside somebody else telling you, yeah, you're doing it right, or yeah, you're taking the right direction.
Yeah, it's great. I love the taking, collecting the data on yourself. I think that's a great term and a great way of kind of looking at this, and not sort of carrying the baggage around with you that might be from the past or even from others, and it's not necessarily your baggage. Great, Jane, we have you back on camera. Natalie, your thoughts with this, building the confidence muscle?
Well, it's all about surrounding yourself with other confident people. It really is when you stand, if you don't have confidence and you stand alone, it's like there's this big spotlight that's on you. But if you surround yourself with confident people, you begin to blend in, right? And the other thing is you're in a community. We need community and accountability. NAPW is an amazing platform. And a lot of times you hear people say, oh, well, this isn't happening for me, and I joined, and this isn't happening. It's all about relationship building, and you have to dive yourself into the community. We're always joining stuff and doing this and that, but then we want to, go in the corner and stand off. No, what you have to say is valuable. What you bring to the table is important. And that's why it's all about the go up. It's about the go up. If you think about it, Cinderella could not have gotten to where she was mentally, emotionally, or even physically without the help of the mice and the birds and the dog and everything. That's a community. You need community. It's time to stop just going at it by yourself. And there's so many times that we do have people that we can reach out to. We do have things that we can become a part of. We just don't. We don't, and we have to stop doing that, especially as women. Let me tell you what my definition of confidence is. Confidence is a very intentional decision that you make to show up prepared and fully present, knowing that you are capable of achieving whatever you are willing to see through till the end in excellence. Ladies, you cannot put lipstick on a character issue, and there is no foundation that can cover up the fact that you do not believe in yourself. When people view you as confident, what they are really experiencing is the relationship that you have with yourself. And if you do not have the support in the community, you stand out like a sore thumb, and you know it. And I'm going to put in the chat where you can join my community, join my free conference call, which is the Cinderella Effect, and
Tap into your local chapters. Reach out to people in the chat. Come on. Go up. Speak up, show up, and go up. And you know what happened for my girl Cinderella? You be the belle of the ball.
Well, we did ask the attendees what they thought the secret was to self-confidence, and I'm presuming, because I can't really see it all on my screen, that being in an environment that fosters positivity, to your point, Natalie. So I think everybody agrees. Catherine, I'm going to move over to you for this next question. I'm going to start with you. I saw this great quote: "Be bold, be real, be a communication rock star." That seems easier said than done. It's said that to be successful, whether it's a job interview or a client meeting or speaking engagement, you need to be both authentic and confident. That can be tricky sometimes because those feel like opposites, especially when your stomach's doing somersaults from nervousness or your chest is tightening from anxiety. Being bold doesn't feel very authentic. How does one manage that and be their most confident and authentic self?
Okay, thank you, Louise. I think it basically, going back to what I've said before, you have to believe and you have to prepare well. When you have well prepared yourself, you've done your homework, and you really have defined what this conception of perfection is. I mean, who really defines perfection? What is perfection? How do we measure it? Is it the other people's definition? Is it our definition? So being well prepared and doing our homework, looking confident, dressing well, I think is very, very important. When you're entering into a room and people can see, it projects whether you feel subdued, whether you feel like you're going to be overcome by comments. Just standing there and saying, this is who I am, I believe in myself, and even if something does not go right, not everything is perfect in this world, and this concept of being what started in the beginning of the perfectly imperfect, I think it sums it up very, very well. And I've seen for myself in the past that really just preparing myself and looking good and looking authentic, but looking like I know what I'm talking about really does the job, and it helps people tremendously.
Well, preparation definitely helps with eliminating the fear. You can come strong. Jane, I'm going to move over to you for our last question for today. I'd like to touch on the impact of positive thinking and our well-being. In 1989, Dr. David Spielberg of Stanford University conducted a study on 86 women with late-stage breast cancer. Half of the women received standard medical care, while the other half were given weekly support sessions in addition to the standard medical care. At the end of the study, the women in the support group lived twice as long as those not in the group. That's powerful stuff and not to be taken lightly. If we see that we are struggling and feeling helpless, what varied support systems can we put in place to alleviate the stress and keep us healthy and open to build that confidence muscle?
Yeah, I can't say enough about building relationships, the relationship of other people who are in support of you. And, you know, I like the idea of positive thinking, and that's wonderful, but I think what's really, the way I feel about it truly is if you can be in a support group with people who will actually not just say, oh, you're doing great, oh, you're looking fine, oh, everything's, you know, you're wonderfully wonderful, but really speak some truth and say, you know, I hear you're struggling, you know, but I'm noticing that, you know, whenever you're faced with an X kind of problem, that you seem to back away or you know, but so in other words, giving some real honest, grounded feedback and I want to emphasize this too, in a safe environment. And when I say safe, that means it's safe to be vulnerable and to experience somebody else's vulnerability. You know, I think that that helps build up the ability to be safe with yourself and be honest with yourself. I think confidence is all about what's inside, and perfectionism, I think, is on the outside. I look at perfectionism is like a wicked school teacher who's always looking for those imperfect things and the failings and won't let you see what you're actually truly capable of. And, you know, we have to fire her and not have her be involved with this anymore, and really bring in the people who are supportive, people who can be real with you and truthful and safe. Again, underline just that, having a safe community of honest and authentic people.
Thank you, Jane. Well, look, our attendees said that most of our attendees, nearly 73% of them, said that they find that low self-esteem can negatively impact their well-being. So we do have to get rid of that. We have to figure out a way to manage it, because not only are we hurting our minds, but we're hurting our bodies. So I just want to thank you, ladies. Great advice. And of course, we have to wrap up our panel, and I do want to do that with a quote from Norman Vincent Peale, the author of The Power of Positive Thinking. Stand up to an obstacle, just stand up to it. That's all, and don't give way under it, and it will finally break. You will break it. Something has to break, and it won't be you. It will be the obstacle. Well, e-chapter attendees, unfortunately, this is all we have time for today. It always goes by way too fast. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Star, and also to our spotlights for sharing great advice today. And before we wrap up, I do want to share with you the recommended reads from our panelists. Jane Donnelly, Getting Real by Susan Campbell. Perfectionism is an externally based motivation, and because of this, it is impossible to achieve. Redefining your motivations to be internally based, authentically yours, means more success and joy. Getting Real takes you on a step-by-step journey to being and communicating authentically. Catherine Ferentinos suggests The Nice Girl Syndrome by Beverly Engel. Although Beverly Engel is internationally recognized as an expert in emotional and sexual abuse, this most recent book she has written is geared to women in general and focuses on the empowerment issue for all women, providing advice in a simple and clear writing manner, along with a step-by-step approach on how to control your life and be your own woman. Natalie Feitz recommends Exponential Living, Stop Spending 100% of Your Time on 10% of Who You Are by Sherry Riley. Natalie had the honor of reading an advanced copy of Sherry's book. She says, peace is the new success, and peace has everything to do with confidence. Thank you, ladies. Great choices, and thank you again for your professional insight today. Also, thank you to our nearly 1,000 women who registered for our event today. And attendees only will be receiving a follow-up list of members at the event today, so you can connect again on napw.com and continue to network. If any of our attendees have further questions for our speakers, please feel free to reach out to them. Their information is on today's PowerPoint and will be also listed in the post-email e-chapter email. Also, all NAPW e-chapters are recorded and saved on the NAPW e-chapter channel on YouTube for you to find and share with your colleagues, friends, and family. Ladies, you'll see on your screen now that you can sign up to the upcoming NAPW e-chapter rerun event. Remember, all sessions, even reruns, host live networking for all attendees. And finally, ladies, post e-chapter, here are 3 things you should do to continue putting your NAPW membership to work. Connect with at least 3 members post e-chapter. Like I said, the attendee list is coming your way post-event. 2, make sure to sign up for the next e-chapter event and future e-chapters. And 3, don't forget to take the post e-chapter survey. Your feedback is very important to us and assists us in enhancing your member experience. Thank you, everyone, for another great e-chapter, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Enjoy the rest of your day.